Uncanny Valley Live!
Our first live show!
Yes, we're very excited. And as Stephen pointed out a few minutes before the show, this is also, because of the nature of our recording, the first time this cast has ever played physically at the same table together.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is a huge moment for us, personally. I suppose I'll introduce myself. I am Buckle. I am the storyteller. And tonight we are going to do a one-shot. So this is spoiler-free for anyone that is experiencing our show for the first time today. And as is customary for our show, I am now going to get us into the scene. Authority sounds like this. It sounds like hardened leather heels clacking down marble floors. It sounds like the near crystalline ding of an elevator arriving on the perfect floor at just the right time. For a woman in a sharply cut suit to step inside and say her usual greeting to the operator within. Forth, ma'am? Forth. The doors close. The grinding of gears and the rough and yet quiet scraping of a metal box traveling up and up and up a shaft to the fourth, with a quick stop on second, timed just right for the doors to open and a coffee and files and the day's newspaper to be passed through with a nod. The heels follow down the hall as the sound of authority becomes hushed whispers becoming silence. The attention of all around focused on the person who operates like a magnet around this environment. Down the gilded halls with their beautifully painted murals, authority walks and turns and stops, and all the items received on the journey fall. And on that note, we're going to join our party elsewhere. In the evening of a fall, what would you say, a fall pit stop.
Yes.
As our party gets coffee in preparation for a long, sleepless night. Chatting up the barista at the cashier is Darla and Wolf, getting their usual fussy drinks.
Yeah, Wolf is like a 6'3", Middle Eastern guy with a big beard, heavy set. He's just kind of rubbing the back of his neck. Yeah, so I kind of want extra cream, and look, can you make it like mostly whip at this point? Like I want like 6 pumps of the chocolate, and listen, can you just make me a milkshake? Is that possible?
Darla is a petite blonde who is kind of a mix between Dolly Parton and Nicole Smith. She leans on the table and she's like, so I would like a caramel macchiato with 3 pumps of espresso, but like soy in it too.
So are you saying you want the espresso with soy milk added to the cream, or just the soy milk?
Yes.
Or it means one or the...
Yes.
Right.
But no whipped cream, because I'm on this diet where I can't eat things that come from cows, so...
I'll take hers.
Right. So the cowless cream with soy milk and the Americano? Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay, next, and across the coffee shop, who else wants to chime in? What's Mason doing right now?
Mason is sitting with his just coffee black, with peering over Abernathy's shoulder as he's engaging in a conversation.
All right, we can get to that. Where is JD?
JD is sat down across the coffee shop, thinking about time ahead. He's a pretty svelte, about 5'10", 5'11", male, in a suit, in a tailored suit, and he's drinking his coffee and thinking about the reason that they're here. So get to in a second.
Very well. So, Abernathy.
Abernathy is on a burner phone, just something that drug dealers buy to be easily destroyed. And
Not that he's necessarily a drug dealer.
no, not anymore.
Well,
He just hates cell phones.
yeah.
And he's on the phone with the contact who brought them here, Vivian Crenshaw.
Yes. Vivian is.
Oh, and to describe Abernathy, tall, broad, middle-aged man, kind of copper-toned skin, and just kind of like a deep Southern brood, never fully shaven up here.
So on the phone, Vivian apologizes. I'm so sorry I'm late. I really intended to be on time, but things have been very crazy at the museum. I'm sure you understand.
Well, I have all the patience in the world. We'll hang out here as long as we can.
I'm 2 minutes out, I swear. I'm 2 minutes, and you hear the sound of brakes screeching and a near accident happening, and Vivian cursing loudly out the window. And at the same time, you see a car careen into the parking lot just outside the window where you're sitting.
Oh, hold on. I think I see you. Click.
Vivian is a tall and thin-boned woman with pin-straight blonde hair and thin gold-framed glasses. She is roughly Abernathy's age, in her mid-40s, and professionally dressed. A woman on a mission, a woman who carries authority. She slams the car door, and on very narrow, almost obelisk-like heels, she clacks up the sidewalk and throws open the door of the coffee shop. With her long coat swirling around her, she stops on a dime and says, "Abe."
Vivian, I hope that the parking wasn't too much of a problem.
No, I completed it very hastily. Ignoring,
I can see that.
ignoring the prospect of coffee, she goes straight for the chair, the cushy chair opposite of Abernathy, and sits with one leg crossed over the other. Right. Well, I don't have much time, so I guess I'll get right into it. Opening up her coat, she slides out a 6x4 photograph and tips it your way, making an effort not to display it to the room at large, and sliding it only to Abernathy.
Okay. He takes it and, seeing that she wants to keep it private, does the same and just sort of looks at what's on the photo.
What you see is a Egyptian construction of very finely crafted stone in what's clearly an interior museum exhibit. It's been recreated and restored as much as possible. The walls where you would expect to see carved hieroglyphics have been defaced long ago. Every scrap from the histories which tend to adorn the walls and the dynasties which are often carved into the pillars for the sake of records, all the way down to the smallest cartouche on the corner of a statue, all of it has been removed.
I like that you know the word cartouche.
Well, I am doing a campaign about Egypt. The interesting thing is that over all of this is some new damage. Paint, yellow paint, covering the surface.
Does it write something? Is it displaying something, or does it just look like they're just going to deface
It is definitely writing. Given the scale of the photo, it's hard to make out many words, but you do see in the arch, the square door which would lead into the front, a very elongated, exaggerated door. You see very clearly the phrase, "I will come, I am inevitable."
Okay.
She says, "Well, me and the guys, we don't want to take our chances with this. This is pretty clearly not normal. You could call it super normal.
I take it no one activated any sort of alarms. Nothing showed up on video camera.
None whatsoever.
Interesting.
So when I heard you were in town, of course, I was grateful that I could have you consult."
Have there been any events like this in the past?
Oh, how rude of me. I want to introduce you to Mason Harper.
Harper,
Yes, ma'am.
So you're Isaac's boy?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you'll do.
Yeah.
Anyone else introducing themselves at this interval?
Well, I think at this point, Wolf comes up. He's got just a candy-coated monstrosity. They actually had sprinkles back there. I'm really happy about that. Oh, hey, your friend?
Dr. Wolf, this is our contact, Vivian.
That's what I'm saying. How you doing?
Oh, in
Nice
the
to meet
meantime,
you.
while you're doing this, I would like to do an occult roll to see if the term "I will come, I am inevitable" is familiar to Abernathy.
Absolutely.
Of course.
As a long-time experienced hunter, he always has a chance to know a thing or two.
If I might, could I roll to see what, in particular, this hieroglyphics and what have you is about?
Well,
is there a particular-
where the hieroglyphics would be, you
Sure.
cannot read because they have been completely etched away.
Sure.
But the paint you can try and study and make out more phrases.
Okay.
So what's your problem? Vampires, werewolves, vampire werewolves. We dealt with that once.
Right.
Sip.
Well, given the nature of it, I think it's safe to assume mummies are on the table.
Mummies?
Fair.
Like dead guys from Egypt?
Very, very.
As in, no longer dead guys from places which may be Egypt, but may also be other places.
Mummies are from all over the world, Doctor.
South America, ever, you know?
They're Mesoamerican mummies. It's interesting. Here, I have a book on it.
No, thank you.
I think
Does that make JD Ben Stiller? Or wait, that wasn't the guy. Who was the guy in that movie? Darla, who's the guy in that movie?
wasn't it Ben Stiller?
Yeah.
Or wait, what was? Is it that blonde guy? You know, and it goes, you know, with the face and the nose.
Yeah, he's got the jaw.
Yeah. Anyways, I think they put milk in this. And sort of Darla comes in and sits down and is like, hi,
Hello.
I'm Darla.
That's nice. I'm Vivian. I'm the head of archaeology at the Museum of Natural Sciences here in
Oh.
Pittsburgh. And what are you a part of on the team?
Oh, I'm a witch.
Right. Anything you can make from that, Abernathy?
Let me take a look here, and my occult roll came up as 2 successes.
Okay. With 2 successes, you recognize the statue above the door. It's a small bust with a cow head, and you know that to be the sign of the goddess Hathor, goddess of fertility, arts, music, the home. Yes, JD.
Yeah, so if you look over to JD, who will start to stand up, you notice his chair's moved about 5, 7, 8 feet closer during everything, and he'll stand up and kind of push to the side, and he'll be like, "So you said mummies in your museum."
Wow, you really are working with amateurs these days, aren't you?
I mean,
I've taken what I can get.
aren't they supposed to be there?
Yes, there are supposed to be mummies, but there's a difference between mummies and mummies.
Like in the movie.
The reanimated dead and the asleep dead.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Someone here is using their brains.
I'll
Might have
shoot
been
him,
Nathan
please.
Fillion. Might have been Nathan Fillion.
By the by, a plain Jane investigation netted me 3 successes.
3 successes. All right, so you're able to study the image closely. And what you come up with is that the phrases that you can see over the door are largely repeated with very little variation.
Okay.
It seems to be just a very clear and concise message that they are putting on every inch of this once precious monument.
Right.
Well, anyway, that's all I have for you right now. I am clearing you to enter the building this evening, so in about an hour, if you'll go over to the museum, I can let you in, give you a quick tour, and, well, we'll see what you can scratch up over the night.
Perfect. Are y'all caffeinated?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Downs the rest of his coffee.
Yeah, and I'm probably gonna be diabetic after this too. It's gonna be great.
And on that note, we will fast travel to when you all arrive at the museum later that night. It is the classic hall of knowledge and learning that many of us were taken to as children. Expansive, well-kept lawns with smoothly curved roads that wander around the monument-like buildings with tall, mature trees and expansive parking lots with their orderly slots for people to pull in and be mildly amused or educated, depending on their inclinations. You all make your way through the columned entrance and into the tessellated marble floors of an entry hall with a large, dark wood front desk. It is closed for the evening, abandoned, except for a man who you have only recently met. His name is Scott, a geologist who, due to the nature of academics in our country, is now working as the museum's event planner.
Is he hot?
I'm glad you asked.
What is his rating on the daddy
We're
scale?
gonna roll the daddy scale
We
and
need the
see.
daddy scale. We have the
see.
tradition.
How-
Damn it.
We'll see his measure as a provider.
Yeah.
3.
Oh no!
Oh God, I can feel it.
He still has that student vibe.
He's
huh?
3, but he's 5 in hotness.
Oh,
so
okay.
he's average, but you wouldn't want to marry him. And I'll tell you why. Because for all his efforts to be as welcoming and informative as possible, despite all his eagerness, he is still wearing fleet front pants
Oh.
Oof.
and a large window box white shirt with blue and yellow stripes. His close cropped hair has the regimented character of his speech as he gives you a very, very long introduction into the many wings of the museum.
Tragically straight and tragically single.
And over here you'll see, this is our Stone Age exhibit, and beyond that, that's our ancient china. And actually it says china, but in the back we have a really lovely collection of illuminated woodblock prints if you're interested. And, oh, I'm getting off track. Right, this way to the Egypt exhibit. He takes a corner down and down a set of stairs. The building itself is built into a very slight slope. So the main building that you are in is perched on top, and this slope remains ground level, but takes you into a sort of recessed area. It's a very high-ceilinged room, almost like a ballroom, large enough to house an entire reconstructed Egyptian temple, which is what you're now looking at. It is the temple from the picture, and now that you are here in person, you can see that there are only 2 entrances. One on the left and right side of this entry hall. And beyond that, there could be many rooms which you cannot see from your current position. To the right, in the sort of exterior room, the room the temple is in, is a side chamber. And upon its sight, Scott startles and he goes, "Right, the Sarcophagus Room. I know she didn't have a picture of that, so I thought I'd highlight that for you." He shuffles over in his energetic gait, and you can see into a room that has not just a large ornate sarcophagus, but also additional cases full of artifacts and plaques with information. Yeah, this room has pretty much everything we know about it. As you can see, well, before the graffiti, it was graffitied. Yeah. So it's hard to say exactly what it was for, aside from being a temple to Hathor. So yeah, we've just compiled everything we know about in there. There's hardly anything I can tell you that you can't find there. I said there so many times that sentence, goodness.
Is there actually a mummy in the sarcophagus?
It's hard to tell. If you want to ask him, you can try and find out, but the sarcophagus is solid stone with a lacquered cover, very much like Tutankhamun, very well preserved, beautiful cover, closed though, so you can't see what's inside.
You got a dead thing in here?
Oh yes, it is undisturbed. We were asked not to open it from the Department of Antiquities. Apparently they were worried about damaging the very well preserved exterior, and they themselves have only done x-rays. It's never been opened.
Okay.
I can't wait to smash this thing open tonight.
I'm trying to make it real juicy for you.
I'm just surprised they let me in a museum with
I know you
baseball.
guys, all right? Like,
Oh my God, I didn't think
On
about
that
that.
note,
if you guys aren't salivating to crack this thing open, I've
friend,
done my job
100%.
badly.
friend, in the event that we have to defend ourselves from an aggressive mummy or what have you,
Does he know?
Mason, don't.
Or,
Well, he does now.
Mason,
Hey, I
buddy,
thought he was-
we don't lead with mummies.
this guy's not in.
Well, only aggressive in his first life, I should hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just joking.
Hilarious.
Oh, I love jokes. jokes.
Sorry, I'm not very good at that.
In fact, I think I have a Laffy Taffy in here.
Oh God, no.
Those have the best jokes on them.
No.
At this point, a taller man with a long nose, very strong jaw, and dark curly hair rounds the corner. He's in a pair of loose-fitting joggers showing off his dad bod. And he says, Scott, are you boring people again? I do not bore, I inform. Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, he's not filling your head full of nonsense about curses, is he? I didn't even mention the curse, thank you very much.
What kind of curse?
Bullshit, that's what. A mummy's curse. In fact, it has some interesting data. And he goes to one of the side panels, and you all immediately tune him out.
So what about the curse part? Can you give me like the sensationalized version, please?
Oh, well, it's said to drive people mad, but, well, that's what all curses do if you think about it.
Drive people mad.
But like what kind of mad? Like, you know, like talking yourself mad, or like committing you mad? Like what kind?
Grr, mad.
Yeah, like angry mad.
Insanity.
There's just so much to take in here. I'm not sure. Well, some legends do say that the site of the temple will make people lose track of where they are in time and space. They seem to think they've gone back to ancient Egypt. And other people just lose track of their mind. What's that look for, Garrett?
I'm just so happy.
I told you you'd like this one.
I do.
Where was I? The others simply say that they start babbling nonsense and running around in circles. You know how rumors are. Really hard to find consistency when everyone's just making it up. But the curse isn't made up. That's the thing that the data says. He goes back to listing geological facts that kind of wash over you guys'
Wolf
heads.
is completely over Scott.
Can I,
There's a guy in here that's his type. He's talking to him.
While he's sort of droning on and on, can I tune him out? And
As a free action.
Yes. And can I, Darla is actually psychic, can I cast out Eye for the Strange and see if I can make contact with anything that might be dead in this room?
You absolutely can. So yeah, roll your presence and occult and Eye for the Strange.
Ooh, that's a big roll.
We have homebrewed her psychic abilities. So we wanted her to be definitely human, but also powerful. So we have a bit of an unusual role for her. For those of you who have not seen this system played before, it involves all D10. For every skill, they have a certain number of dots bought with experience points. That buys them a die. Any roll of 8 or higher on a die is a success. A roll of 0 explodes and allows a re-roll, which can get more successes. And it's not a binary system. Every success makes them succeed better. So 1 is, yeah, you do it to a normal, competent level. 2 is you do it rather well. 5 is you do this like a superhero.
Well, I didn't roll very well. So I only got 1.
Nope, you got nothing.
Aw.
I think if I could just kind of slip out of this situation, I just kind of want to look around.
All right, so you disengage. Wolf, were you wanting to talk to Alec?
Absolutely. Like I said, you described his type. Fuck Scott. We're about this new guy now.
So Alec listens to Scott drone on with a sort of fond smile and slips his hands into his jogger pockets, and he goes, you know, I give him a hard time, but Scott's passionate. I respect him.
I mean, you gotta respect a nerd, right?
Well, you can learn to respect him, I think. And he has done his time for the museum, believe it or not. In fact, he's the only reason we have this exhibit in the first place.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Do you know, he and Vivian, they're mostly the big power couple here. They're not together. You know, I'm just using the turn phrase. They actually went all the way to Egypt to get this exhibit here themselves.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they really knocked it out of the park.
So, what are you doing later?
Oh, well, I'm going to be here with you guys.
Really?
Well, it's a pretty priceless collection. We didn't want just anybody. I mean, I know Vivian trusts you, but we just wanted to be around to watch everything, you know, make sure everything was okay, get you water if you get thirsty, I guess.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Right, I'm going to go.
Abernathy is probably going to want to assist Mason with searching the area.
All right. So roll me your investigations. That would be,
Baby
you had the
step
better
with
of
the
intelligence or wits, plus investigation.
Okay.
And
Oh,
anyone is
boy.
welcome to do this. At this point, you all have free reign of the facility. And there are more wings to the museum if you want to go there. But the majority of your interest will be in these 2 rooms.
It was my mistake, but I did not describe Mason earlier, and he is about 5'9"-ish, with slicked back, dark hair, a brown coat, and gloves, with a white dress shirt.
I got 2 successes.
You got 2 successes.
I also got 2 successes.
Yeah.
You found Scott's nerd stuff.
His nerd stuff?
His nerd stuff.
Did you mean like a pocket protector and a calculator, or an anime body pillow?
Oh no.
Neither of those things. You
Okay.
found the data that he was trying to present to you. But Abernathy, being more of a solo learner, you absorb it a lot better when you're actually seeing it. What you find is that he actually was onto something. There are consistent readings of geothermic activity observed around this temple. And basically what Scott found in his research was a correlation with the cycles of the moon.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Which I believe Abernathy might have a particular interest in.
I just don't want to like consistently just throw occult rolls into this. You know, just like that this will become a cult roll to show.
Well,
Egyptian temple.
because your occult role in this instance is talking about things Abernathy just passingly might know from his work experience, you
Yeah.
definitely will cap out
Okay.
as far as what you know about this.
All
But-
right.
So you can roll again here because we're kind
Yeah,
of just
sure.
getting started. You're now figuring out the sort of things that you need to recall from your memory.
Gotcha. I haven't used this yet. Okay, so skills have skill specialties.
Yes, they do.
My occult roll has a specialty with ritual.
That's very
And-
applicable to this.
And the moon goes in a cycle. Can I use this?
Well, maybe not anymore. I think you unconvinced me.
Yeah.
I was going to say that because you're dealing with an ancient Egyptian temple, there's a good chance there were rituals
Can
there.
I use the extra die or not?
No, you unconvinced me.
Did I also find
Wow.
nerd stuff?
Wow. Only
get
one
to you.
success out of all that.
Wow, such a nerd.
Yeah, I know. Such a dork.
Yeah, you find that the pinnacle of this is generally on the new moon. So the nights when the moon is least shown are the nights when the activity tends to arise. Mason, for your troubles, you wander into the temple room itself and take a peek inside the structure of the temple through those very long pillbox doors.
All right.
And what you see inside is a very long, narrow space, almost cathedral-like, leading up to a stone throne with 2 doors on either side leading into additional chambers. The inside is just as defaced as the outside, but whoever came to paint did not paint the inside.
Huh.
They stopped at the exterior.
Okay, I'll just probably call back.
Mhm.
Hey, I'm checking this out, and then
Calling in Mason.
calling.
Hey, I'm checking this out, guys. Did anyone respond to Mason's announcement, or are you interested in doing other things?
Yeah, I'll follow him.
Abernathy was just going to say, okay.
All right, so Darla, you find Mason inside the temple.
So these archaeological people are gonna be real mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's nothing dead in here.
I'm
That
really-
coffin is empty.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, probably.
Oh man. Yeah, I thought Vivian, being a friend of Abernathy's, might have sent somebody in the know, but apparently we can't let anything slip to them either.
Yeah, generally speaking, that's a good idea.
Yeah, figures. Well, if you would, we need to check out the inside of this, yeah?
Yeah.
Because it messed with the outside, why not the inside?
So there's a throne at the end of this.
There's a throne at the end of this,
Yeah.
yes.
Do you think they'd be mad if I sat in that?
Is this one of those things where I have to take pictures of you again?
Yes, this could be great for Instagram. And I think
Are
Darla.
you sure you won't get in like legal trouble for this? I'm sure you're shoving a camera into his hands or phone.
Yeah, she's just shoving her phone in his hands. Like, who cares?
Enough going.
And she sort of poses on the chair and was like, "Can you do a couple angles? You know, get real close and then
Yeah.
fall out and then you know, thank you. Okay, okay."
I'm dead inside.
So Stephen and JD, what are you? Or Stephen and JD, Wolf and JD, what are you up to?
Well, is Scott still here?
Scott is still here after he realized that he'd lost his captive audience.
Yes.
He retreated to go sort of chew the fat with Alec, his coworker.
Okay. So it's just 3 of us?
Well, are you still going to be in that room?
Yes.
Then it's the 4 of you.
Oh, Scott's still here.
So Scott and Alec are talking in the corner, and you are deciding what to do.
All right, so I kind of get Abernathy and JD over a little bit away and whisper, so, vampire?
I thought they said it was a mummy. I'm getting confused. I don't.
So
Listen,
far.
I do not, okay, I draw the line at mummies. I draw the line at mummies.
You draw the line here?
Yes.
After werewolves, after vampires, after fairy folk and all that and whatnot?
Yes. A man has to have his limits. And this is mine.
And it's mummies.
It's mummies.
Mummies is your limit.
Mummies is my limit.
Well, if we happen to come across some, I'll make sure to let them know that you're at your limit and hopefully they'll go away.
Okay, what? Are you telling me there's actually is this thing like getting out and doing shitty graffiti?
Maybe. That's what we're here to find out.
I mean, at least he closes the door when he goes back in. It's polite.
So he's polite.
You have a good point. And I want to check out to see if the thing has been opened, actually. They said it hasn't. but-
Sure. How about a wits composure?
Composure.
Yeah. We're
Okay.
going to measure your ability to process information in real time.
We got 3 successes.
Wow, very good. Of course, he is a rather composed man. So you approach
It's all that
and
sugar.
First of all, the sarcophagus is in a glass case to protect it from wandering hands. And so that alone would mean it would be very difficult to escape if you were a material being. Obviously, your experience tells you that's not always a foregone conclusion. But if an actual mummy were to reanimate and sit up and try and walk around, it wouldn't be able to leave this case. And furthermore, for your 3, you can see through the glass that the painted finish of the outside of the sarcophagus is unbroken, as you were told by Scott. It is as it appears to be as it should be.
Okay, I'll give you ghost, maybe.
I'll take it.
All right, but not a fucking mummy.
Fine. All right. After finding those geothermic activity plans, I think Abernathy's going to want to present those to Scott and say like, "Hey."
Oh, he'll be happy to tell you all about it.
Oh my God, I'm shoving him in a locker.
Scott, I really hate to pry, but I did happen across some of these right here. These, do these look familiar to you?
Oh, of course, those are my notes. Yes.
Excellent. Could you do me a favor and just give me the skinny?
Well, sure. He goes into a very long explanation.
Great.
The sum total of which is what you already understand.
Great. Okay.
Saved
So-
y'all some time, audience.
Because of this absolutely mind-numbing display from Scott, JD is going to start wandering the museum.
Okay. So, are you going to go back the way you came then?
I mean, if that's really the only way out.
Yeah,
If there was like another direction to continue onward, he'd probably take that one.
Okay. Well, through the sarcophagus room, there is another exit that goes up some steps and actually connects to the back of the Stone Age exhibit with a bunch of like sort of models of early humanoid.
Okay, we'll probably go that way.
Yeah.
Just start looking around.
So you climb up the steps, and devoid of anyone else at night, these sort of ape-like early humans all sort of have shadowed faces and elongated limbs, and you walk by them and try not to let it unsettle you. especially because this room, unlike the Egypt exhibit where they anticipated you going, has not been lit. The overhead lights are dim, and you're walking only by the light of the emergency lights from the fire alarms in the corners of the room. And as you finally reach the other end of the line of sort of different eras and different skeletal diagrams, you turn back into the atrium where you see Vivian actually standing in the middle of the hall by herself.
Hey, did you know when you walk through there and there's no lights on, it's extra weird? They got really long arms.
Oh, yes. Well, Alec always does like to tell me that that's creepy. And
He just walks around here at night like normally? Is that something he does often?
well, he does work late. He helps us, when we get traveling exhibits, he helps us make all of the signage and hang it up. But what I don't understand is why you would just enjoy being scared. I mean, if it bothers you, why even go near it?
100% agree. Couldn't get on that train any faster.
I'm glad I found you here. I had something that I realized I hadn't told the group about.
Mm-hmm.
Here, it's this way. And she walks you down past a lot of exhibits. She walks you pretty far away and
You're gonna get
into
brainwashed.
a door marked employees only. On the other side is a very drab office with lines of desks in cubicles. And she goes to one with a ratty old chair and a cup full of unsharpened pencils and sits down. She says, "Sorry about the mess." Opening up the desk drawer, she pulls out a sandstone tablet. She says, "It's just that this piece, it escaped my attention at first, but I really think it warrants closer investigation."
Okay, I'll just want you to take it up there, I guess.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, what's the? Is it just? Is it like a bunch of hieroglyphics?
It's hieroglyphics. And when you look upon it, everything goes dark.
Uh-oh.
Ew.
No.
Ew.
Why is it always JD?
Because he goes off alone. He makes it easy.
You are such a trusting soul.
Impulse
it will
control.
kill us all.
Impulse control is not his strong suit.
Or maybe it's the one dot of intelligence.
Maybe it's that.
It'll do
Possibly. It could be.
Don't drink the museum roofie coladas. Don't do it.
So, back in the main museum exhibit, Darla is taking photos on the throne.
Yeah, she's sort of putting it at Instagram, choosing her hashtags. I think maybe hashtag living that life, hashtag museum junkie,
Oh my God.
uh,
Liar.
hashtag queen.
SEO isn't for truth tellers.
I think while she's busy doing that, I'd like to see if there's another way into this. Maybe we came in through an air duct or some ventilation shaft or a floor space. Maybe this is the entrance, is why it wasn't defaced as much. Don't want to draw attention
Good thought.
to it.
So there are two doors you can take on the right and left of this room, leading to other chambers. So you peek your head through each one in turn, and as it is a ruin, it is hard to say what this room may have been used for.
Yeah.
What you notice intuitively is that these rooms are laid out in a sort of processional path. The whole temple is very long, and the rooms all seem to lead you further in. And once you get through the larger throne room, all of the hallways are sort of shoulder width. They're clearly not designed to be walked side by side or to allow people to return back when someone is using it. So very much in a sort of silent coaxing, the temple seems to draw you deeper into a final room at the back that both of these pathways converge on. And this room is defaced as the exterior was. And on the floor is a chest, a sort of stone, almost like a bench with the lid opened. And inside is a plaque explaining that this pedestal was where the sarcophagus was found, and that the contents of the box upon which it sat were the canoptic jars where the organs of that mummy had been ritually encased and then buried in there.
Oh.
The plaque also notes that this practice was highly divergent from the norm, where those jars would have been kept in a separate chamber in the sort of burial place.
Yeah.
And also that the dating of these artifacts is hard to place. The style of the carvings doesn't match the era that the carbon date indicates. And this temple, once further studied, could lead to the categorization of a whole separate kingdom in the history of Egypt. Normally it's the Old Kingdom, the Middle Kingdom, and the New Kingdom. This plaque supposes that perhaps there was a lost kingdom, a brief period of some other cultural revolution which historians have not yet parsed.
If I'm understanding correctly, this is not consistent with the sarcophagus outside that we were being shown.
Yes. What's interesting is that this temple clearly has not been well preserved. It's, taken a lot of abuse over the ages. But the sarcophagus itself is pristine, and the placard does insist that that was the sarcophagus found in this temple.
Goodness.
And that is one thing you also draw from this investigation is, if it's a temple, why was it being used as a burial chamber?
Sure.
That's strange.
Darla, I definitely called her because she's ways back, unless you've abandoned your Instagram glory.
No, I think she'll be like, yeah, what do you want?
Could you come over here and do your thing? This is really odd, even by the standards of Egyptian.
I think she'll sort of sit up and huff and go, I already told you there weren't any dead people in here.
Yeah, but this is just really strange. Everything around here is much older than this. So I think there might be something at play here, or somebody moved it here, and I'd like to nix one of those options.
I guess.
You're very capable, you know.
Flatterer.
Works.
Can I guess eye for the strange it, or maybe try and scry from?
Yeah, you
touching
could
jars?
try and astrally scry if you want to use that ability.
Okay.
So yeah, that's your eye for the strange roll.
And do you want me to add a cold to it, or just
Yeah, add a
straight
cold.
up?
For the purposes of this campaign, we're not gonna split hairs.
What are we looking at?
Are your new dice betraying you again?
It's 3. So
Oh, that's not bad.
not so bad.
So, Darla, being the resident witch,
Bona fide.
bona fide witch.
Ooh, look what
Sorry,
you did.
everyone. Being the resident bona fide witch, she summons her energies to her recently discovered third eye and propels it outward until her spirit has manifested in the spiritual world and you're able to look around. I'd like you to make an integrity check, please.
Ooh. You might want to explain what integrity is.
Yeah, Hunter the Vigil, although most of the characters are humans, we do still have a morality stat that other splats in the World of Darkness have. So our stat is a measure of how grounded you are, how sane you are, despite the horrors you have seen. So integrity 7 is where you start. And let's say if you were to have a integrity, what are you at, Abernathy, 5?
I'm at a 5, but I practice at a 7.
At an integrity 5, for instance, you could hold up a child at gunpoint thinking they're a changeling.
You said that you wouldn't bring that up anymore.
Well, it's just the perfect example, Abernathy.
Yeah.
So your measure of what's acceptable and righteous and okay changes based on what your integrity is.
So that being said, I just failed.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
That's the first time we've done that.
Oh no! Of course it has to
It's
be
a
live.
good thing. It's a good thing that this isn't in the main campaign, or you would be stuck at a lower integrity forever.
Thank you, sweet baby Jesus.
Don't take his name when we know. We know you're disparaging it.
What do you mean?
So, Darla, when you propel your spirit into the spiritual realm, you see this place as it is on a spiritual level. You see its significance to the collective unconsciousness. And what you see is that it is not entirely what it appears. It is not only a place of worship, but a place of internment. It is a place in which a soul has resided for millennia and has sought to escape over and over again. And because you are a psychic, you have a way of connecting directly with the resonance of a spirit. Not only do you see the remnants of a trapped soul here, you feel the experience of having hope only to lose it, of escaping and tasting freedom only to once again be returned here. You feel the energetic loop. And in that moment, your astral eye settles on the wall behind this open chest. And now you see it as it always was, as it should have been. You see the truthful words inscribed on its walls, and then everything goes black. Mason, in the real world, Darla falls limp.
He rushes to her side immediately. Darla, hey, wake up. Is she responding at all? Pulse?
Her pulse is risen but stable. She is breathing. Her eyes are moving behind her lids. She is conscious and alive, but she's not responding.
I think just tried to carry her back to everybody, shouting the whole time.
So everyone who was outside of the temple, you hear very clearly in the echoing walls of this hall, you hear frantic cries as Mason runs from the temple with Darla in his arms.
Yeah, Wolf puts down his phone and he rushes over.
Okay, Abernathy turns away from Scott and does the same.
And scene.
All right.
Okay.
Let me get a look at her. What happened? She hit her head? Was she posing on something and fell off again?
No.
Okay.
Not. She was doing her thing, and she just blacked straight out.
Her thing or the other thing?
Her bona fide witch thing.
Okay, good. All right. I'd like to make a medicine check.
Yeah, go ahead. You're a doctor. That totally is the same.
What room was she in?
3, 4.
Back behind in the throne room, there was another
5 successes.
smaller sarcophagus. It was in that area.
Oh dear. All right. So 5 successes for the medical.
Well, she's already fine, so I guess you make her finer.
Can't do that.
Okay, she's.
Can't do it.
Tell you what, I'll let you roll over that success to your next health or emotional wellness related check.
Okay, sure. I'll
Just
take
so
it.
it's not wasted.
All right. Hey, bop. Wake up. Come on. She's fine. She's just out of it.
Okay, that's good.
She's not
Let's go
allergic to
take a look.
soy, is she?
So Scott and Alec are also sort of watching from the periphery. And although Scott looks rather shocked and surprised, Alec just looks sort of sick, and he steps forward. Is she all right?
Not quite. She collapsed back in that far back room. I don't believe you'd shown it to us yet.
The back room of the temple.
Yeah. There's, the interior of the temple isn't marked by this, except for that far back room. And I'm curious about the distinction. Whatever it was, it overwhelmed her. What is there about that room that we don't know? It is clearly different. And if you know anything, I need to know.
I mean, he leads you to the sarcophagus room, to one of the cases where there are photos from the expedition when it was excavated and first studied. And you get a view of how the room was arranged when it was first discovered, full of treasure and artifacts, with the sarcophagus resting on the chest in the center. And the walls, as they are now, defaced but free of paint. And he says, well, this is exactly how it was when they found it, and when we went to go and get it ready for transport, it was pretty much like that too. I mean, yeah, it's got a bad atmosphere, but I don't think anything weird ever happened in there.
Sure. That's a very old part of the temple, and that artifact in particular seems relatively untouched by time.
Yeah, I mean, we found that extremely unusual too. That's part of what's so fascinating about it. I mean, the possibilities for what this could mean for our understanding of Egypt's history is very far-reaching. Now I sound like Scott.
Well, you're not wrong.
I want to see if I can get a read on him.
You know,
Okay.
Is he being entirely honest?
Yeah, you can, I think I'll let you roll for that.
Okay.
I hope you do well.
Well,
couldn't.
so do
And
I.
I think
but
it would be wits empathy.
okay. Well, I have 3 wits and no empathy. Read into that what you will. And I'm going to take away 1 because I'm unskilled in empathy. So 2 dice. Ooh, that's a 10. Okay, 1 success.
1 success. Seems truthful to you.
All right, cool.
Seems genuine.
All right.
But you know, he says, you know, Vivian did say she felt faint in there the other day. But, I mean, she's fine now, so that can't mean anything, right?
Have you thoroughly checked this exhibit already for possible secondary ways in or out? Do you think maybe there's...
Well, the walls are 16 inches thick, solid stone. I would hope that we'd know if there was some kind of secret
I'm
passageway.
sure the floors and the ceiling then.
Well, no. I mean, we didn't check that.
Abernathy's going to kind of like look over at Wolf and just sort of mouth the word ghost and nod real hard.
Wolf responds with a finger, and then has a, where the hell's JD?
Wait, he's not with you?
I've been playing Tetris with Abernathy being stupid for a while, so no, he's not with me.
Stay here and watch Darla.
Oh, no. You're dealing with this. I'm gonna go on JD watch.
You're not going alone. Abernathy? You go with him?
Fine, I'll play babysitter.
Yeah, play babysitter. You hear that? That's you. That's what you sound like.
Be safe, guys.
All right,
All right.
I suppose I could stay and you all could go together. I mean, you're the experts
I'd
here.
rather not leave Darla unattended.
Abernathy picks her up.
I won't get between you and her, buddy. Don't you worry about that.
Oh, whatever. All right. We going or not?
All right.
Fine, we'll make it a field trip. Let's just go.
Well, yeah, let's just look for JD. This is bad.
All right, so the 3 of you go looking for JD.
Yeah. 4 of us.
Doesn't take long. You run into him in the sort of central atrium that led you past all the exhibits. You find him just standing there, right in the middle.
Hey, there you are.
Hey, JD, you all right?
He seems kind of vacant. He doesn't answer at first.
That's not unusual.
And as you get closer, you find in the dim light, you manage to find just enough to find a pale reflection over his face. He is wearing a white mask, which obscures his features. And in the darkness, you couldn't see it until now.
Could I cash in that health roll I made earlier as an
Yes,
empathy
you
check?
can.
Yeah, I'd like to cash it in now.
Yeah, he looks like he's not home. He's standing in a very horror movie, sort of like tilted head pose, perfectly still with his arms
Please
just
tell me you didn't get possessed again.
waving ever so slightly beside him.
Oh.
JD,
He looks like an old Slipknot video, doesn't he?
And then he says, "The king is coming. The king will come for you. The king in yellow is coming."
Oh, shit!
Nerd.
Pastor!
Oh my god.
Ah! You
Oh,
made my
no.
night. Okay.
Wolf, who has no occult, just rolls his eyes and tries to remove the mask.
You're so indulgent.
JD screams.
Oh boy.
That's it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Abernathy drops Darla and goes for his gun.
No, you're not shooting JD.
No. Hold on. Wait, is he like retreating? Is JD running away or?
No, he is standing right there, continuing to relay the message he's been hijacked to give you. But he screams it in pain as you try and remove the mask, which has been affixed there.
I'd like
Okay,
to try and help.
I let go.
Do we want to? We need to. I think that thing might be the cause of why he's in this.
I recommend the 2 of you get outside arm's length of that thing.
Hey, that thing's our teammate.
Not while that thing's in its head.
Yeah, and that's why we're getting rid of it instead of killing our teammate. Put your gun away.
Why is the answer? Every question doesn't result in, oh, I shoot it.
It's worked pretty well for me for a while now.
Okay, Wolf, do you want to hold him or do you want to take the mask off?
I'll hold him.
Okay.
I'm bigger.
Not
And it's at this
contested.
point in time that all around you, the small emergency lights, which are your only way of seeing, begin to flicker intermittently. The hair on your arms and your neck stands up as the temperature plunges rapidly, and you all are knocked aside by a force you cannot see. And inside your heads, emanating outward from your very skull, you hear Darla's voice relaying the same message. The king is coming. The king in yellow will have you. The king is coming.
All right.
I'm not dealing with this.
No, get that shit off him right fucking now.
Yeah. I get up, and I'm going to grapple JD.
All right.
Okay.
Not easy to do. You don't even have to roll because he's not contesting you at this time.
Okay.
God. All right. You got him?
I got him.
Sorry, buddy. And I'm gonna put both hands on the underside of the mask and just yank.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, I've seen this horror movie.
All right. I guess roll me a strength brawl.
Oh, Jesus, why?
I mean, it kind of counts as a disarm, which is strength brawl. So
His beautiful face.
It's beautiful.
Ruined.
his money
Generic face.
Beautiful every other.
Now all he has
Put
is his
10.
intense physical health.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
Hollywood
concerned for
face.
his life. I'm
No.
risking a willpower.
Please do.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and risk a willpower.
Yeah.
Risking is a fun dynamic that hunters have. It represents their ability to push beyond what would be the normal human limit through sheer grit and determination. So in the World of Darkness and the Chronicles of Darkness, all classes have willpower, which are free dice they can add to rolls to increase their chance of success at a high cost because willpower is very hard to gain back. Hunters can risk, they can wager their willpower, and if they succeed, they get all of it back.
Well,
Plus some benefits, but they do take a sort of negative condition for pushing themselves beyond the limit.
I'd like to do add 3 and 9 again.
Right, so he's going to get 3 more dice for the willpower, and he's going to make 9s explode the same way 10s do.
Which is fortunate because
Those are the 2 benefits he's going to choose for risking willpower.
2 successes.
Ooh, you almost just lost a lot, my friend. So I'm going to say that after this, your arms are going to be sore.
Sore. Okay.
So you're going to take a minus on further strength checks for the next hour or so. But you do manage to succeed. The mask begins to peel up from the bottom, and as JD's screaming intensifies, he does start fighting back. JD, what is your strength brawl?
That's 6.
Please roll that for me.
Okay.
I got the good one, guys. I got the physical character.
Should I contest this?
Yeah? Yeah, you can try and help.
That one was dancing.
Yeah. Just 1.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Has JD ever
All
rolled
right,
a
come
1
on, new dice.
on physical stuff before?
I'm at 2.
Not often.
2.
There's no accounting for probabilities in this game, man. So Wolf manages to hold him down. Mason make another strength brawl to continue peeling the mask up.
Okay. As long as things continue to go well, Abernathy will stand at a distance with his gun
Gun
ready.
trained.
This is still a terrible roll, so I'm doing it again. I got the willpower back, yeah?
Yes.
You succeeded, so
I
yeah.
feel like JD right now is like, oh no, don't take my mask off. Oh no.
The Yellow King is coming.
3 successes.
3 successes. All right, you get it up off of his nose, and you can finally see his face underneath. Thank God he doesn't appear to be damaged physically.
Okay.
So it's not glued. That's a good sign.
But you and who all is clustered around? I know Wolf is there because he's grappling. Abernathy, you said you're at a distance?
Yeah, I'd say
And
maybe
Darla's
about
with him.
10
And Darla's
meters.
with him.
On the floor.
Well, Darla's on the floor
Darla's
in a
body
heap.
is with them. So it would just be Wolf and Mason. Make me a resolve composure roll.
Oh, good.
Resolve composure.
Good
Oh
fun.
boy.
And Darla, please roll your unseen sense.
Oh. Can I do that when I'm asleep?
The King in Yellow can make you do it.
Holy
Oh.
shnikes.
Just unseen sense.
And
Or
she's
eye
at
for
my
the strange
feet,
read?
right?
Eye for the, yeah, the eye for the strange roll. So your presence, occult, and eye for the strange.
And she's still at my feet where I dropped her.
successes.
Yes.
Okay.
Her psyche and her astral projection has been taken
Oh come
control.
on! Why do I roll well now?
She is now attacking you
You might want to. We don't know yet.
ethereally.
You guys are so fucked. Oh my
How many explosions is that?
That was 6.
Yo!
6! That is beyond an exception.
I got 2.
I got 4, and I was so proud of myself.
Okay,
Your brain's about to come out your ears. By
Oh
the
boy.
way.
so that's interesting. So, Wolf, you just take, you said 6? Take 3 lethal damage.
Holy crap!
It's mental damage, so you're not bleeding or anything, but it's
But I got
your-
a nosebleed going on.
your brain is pretty fucked, my friend.
Cool.
Mason, for her exceptional success, as her consciousness is hurtled through you like a missile through a battleship. For a brief moment, you have a sort of mind meld, an intermingling, where you are bombarded with all of Darla's fear and panic and pain and anger, because Darla loves nothing less than being completely helpless. You're all at once bombarded with the full force of her personality as she's fighting back against this creature, compelling her to attack you. And you find yourself in a sort of liminal space, a wheat field with the sun low in the horizon, and Darla clinging to your arms and screaming and yelling at the King in Yellow.
Is he restraining her or pulling her
You
away?
can't
or-
really see him. It's more like different parts of her face are yelling at each other. It's very disturbing.
Can I just hug her? Just hold Darla for a bit? Just be like, I'm here. Hang on. Just, I don't know what to do, but we're here. Just kind of, I don't know, try and
Mason, you
settle
gotta
her
make
down.
him stop. You gotta.
Okay, what is he doing?
He's real mad.
Okay.
Actually, Darla, it's she. You
She.
can give him a clue here.
She's really mad, Mason.
Okay. What does she want? Why is she doing this?
They kept her here,
Yeah.
locked up, but like alive.
Okay. Well, what did she get out of this? Why is she doing this to you?
She wants out.
She wants out.
Okay, well, can she talk to us without doing this?
I don't think so. I think that's why she needed me.
Okay, well, are you here? I'm speaking to the space. Can you speak to me?
No.
Okay.
It is there, but it is there through Darla. You can't talk to it directly.
Well, ask it if we can do something to kind of mediate this. Maybe it can get what it wants and we can get what we want.
What can we do?
I am coming. I am inevitable. You will let me go. You will open me out. You will let me free.
Well, how do we do that?
Her hands are slipping. They're sweaty. They're trembling, and they're slipping away from you.
I reach in, like, grab at her wrist.
Yeah, your grip slips slowly from around her,
Yeah.
down her arms to her elbows to her wrists.
Can I try and use my abilities to maybe like sort of disentangle myself from her?
Yes, I think because of this convergence, you do have a minute here to try and free yourself.
Okay. So that was 5.
That's an exceptional
Holy
success. Darla, as your hands are losing their grip on Mason, his eyes meet yours and you feel his sincerity, you feel that responsibility that he said over and over, he will be there to protect all of you. And you believe him. You wrestle back all of your strength and force the king out. And very suddenly, the ground cracks beneath Mason's ethereal feet, and the ground seems to move at different intervals down in hexagonal shapes and disintegrating until you all are back in your bodies. Darla, you are sore, your head hurts, you're on the cold marble floor.
There's a mysterious bruise on my ass. Like somebody dropped me.
And Mason, you are standing You were over JD, I think,
Yeah, am
pulling
I
the mask
standing
off.
After all
Or
that?
you're kneeling, I think, over JD,
Yeah.
pulling the mask off. Abernathy, you had your hand up in the middle of that. What would you like to do there?
I was just wondering if I was aware of any of this.
No, all of
Okay.
this is happening inside of their mind connection.
Okay, so the connection is out and they're back
So
now.
now the connection is severed, and at the same time as Mason comes to, Darla is sort of conscious and gasping on the ground.
Miss Kane, how are you?
What happened to JD?
Put on a mask, got weird.
Oh,
King
so
is
usual.
coming.
Okay, I'm gonna try to rip this damn mask off.
All right, strength brawl.
Strength brawl is what I'm good at.
What about you, Miss Kane? What happened?
Burning a willpower.
I think I was possessed.
Oh wait, no, I'm going to risk a willpower.
Okay.
Part of the
what
job.
benefits would you like?
3 dice and 3 successes is exceptional.
Okay.
By the way, I owe you another condition.
Oh, you do owe another condition.
Son
Let's
of
say unfocused. After that mental collision, you have a really strong headache, and it's very hard for you to do mental challenges right now. Yes, Steven.
I only got 2.
You only got 2.
Only got 2.
No.
You only succeeded. Okay. That's tragic.
Terrible.
If only players could just lose harder sometimes.
What's my condition?
Sadist.
Look, you don't end up storytelling the Chronicles of Darkness if you're not a little bit of a sadist.
Yeah.
And you were ripping the mask off, so
I basically have JD in an arm bar, and I'm just trying to rip off the stupid mask.
yeah, you're gonna have a bad case of ye old self-doubt after this,
Oh,
because you are apparently causing JD a lot of pain, and you're
Sorry,
going
I'm sorry,
through
I'm
with it
sorry.
anyway. JD, the lights come on for you as the mask rips from your face, and your whole body is trembling and shaking. You have a cold sweat dripping down your neck, and everything hurts. It is pure agony for the short time that it takes you to come to, and then slowly that seems to fade away.
Can he just scramble away from the spot
Yes.
with everything?
Yeah, Wolf's just gonna be like, "Look, sorry.
Or he's just gonna get in the corner and be like, What?
You back?
Where did I go?
Oh, good. Everything's back to normal.
Thanks for all the help, seriously." And Wolf's gonna toss the mask.
Yeah. Well, hold on.
Hey, wait a minute.
Has anyone seen Abernathy? Have you ever seen anything like this before? Like,
Yeah.
I'm really tempted to break it, but this mask.
Wait, nobody touch it again.
Yeah, don't-
All right, don't even look at it.
Abernathy's gonna kind of tap it with his foot to try and investigate the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, make an investigated a -2.
Ugh.
Foot
You
investigate.
want me to pit? I'll just do a regular willpower.
We're so afraid.
Thanks for making us scared.
Gee, it's almost like it's a horror show.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, well, that ain't bad. Okay, 2 successes.
See, that's not so bad. Look at those 2 successes. Don't you just hate it, chat? Don't you just hate it? So, yeah, you investigate. It seems like it's just a mask now. Although, on the back side, you whip your eyes away before you're able to actually read any words, thanks to your 2 successes.
Ooh.
But there are words written on the inside.
Okay, hieroglyphs, I assume.
Hieroglyphs.
Okay. So, why do I turn away?
I suppose the investigate, I guess the value you get out of that is you inferred that that is what JD was seeing when he was inside the mask.
Gotcha. So there's no eye holes,
Yes.
just the.
Yes, and
Ooh.
something about the words being seen, Abernathy, from your experience, you intuit that that is a key element of this witchcraft, I guess.
Okay, so turning away, he just looks up, raises his foot, and just tries to smash it.
Okay. I'm not even going to make you roll for it. It's
Okay.
porcelain, it shatters.
Sweet.
Oh.
Was anyone watching him do it, though?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, you 3, I need resolve composures to see if you see the hieroglyphs or not.
Oh.
Jeez.
So they don't need to translate it for it to affect it?
No, you just need to look upon the
love rolling
words.
zeros.
Ooh, that is bad.
I
Did
botched.
anyone,
Oh,
did
buddy.
anyone
No,
botch?
I got 1.
I got 2.
I botched.
All right. Awesome.
Are we playing Past the Possession?
It's party time.
It's party time.
It's party time.
It's storyteller
Where are you
So-
standing, first off?
He's still on the floor,
Okay.
basically where he was wrestling with JD.
At first, you all don't notice. At first, everything seems as though the danger has passed, because Wolf is on his hands and knees, near where the mask fell, and where Abernathy stomped. You think he was simply collecting himself, trying to remain calm in the face of JD's traumatic return to life. Instead, you see his hands start to slowly scrabble further out on the floor and press firmly as his whole body kind of hunches and curls in on itself. And he starts whispering under his breath, "The king in yellow is here. The king in yellow will find you."
Oh, not you now.
The king in yellow is here. And I'm going to dive at Abernathy.
Yes. Turning ever so slowly, his head over his shoulder, he turns and you see his face just in time to see tears come from his eyes, to see white come out of his pores and form blobs and shapes and slowly congeal together to form a pristine porcelain mask with no features or eyes.
Can I punch him in the head?
Yes.
I'd be mad about it, but
I like moral dilemmas from the whole party except Darla. She's, I'm just going to punch him in the face.
Punch him in the head.
I had more restraint than you.
Yeah, Abernathy actually did.
Super gonna punch him in the
You
head.
guys got all
I'll have you
mad
know,
at
I
me
have
the
a
last time I
defense of
pulled my
3.
gun.
Well, I rolled a 3, but a defender wins, so.
Arm guns are different than actual guns.
Well, so you still punch. You land the punch. It just doesn't deal damage. That's how that works. So, Darla decks him. Anybody else want to hit?
Well, I kind of just want to have a scene where me and Wolf have something of a tussle.
A tussle.
I'm down for
a
it.
tussle.
So what's your defense?
Oh, well, it's 3.
Okay, cool.
I love this. I don't even need to be here. They're doing the fight themselves.
We know what we're doing.
Whoop.
I'll wait for you guys to do
And
something.
oop, 1 success.
Nice. Okay, so do you need at least 3 to break that?
Well,
or-
I removed your defense from the dice pool, and I still rolled a success.
Got it. So that means I take a bashing.
Yeah, so after his creepy eye lock moment, and he takes a punch with a very smooth sort of rolling with the action, Wolf leaps and lands his claws into Abernathy, just scratching him from the neck down and,
And he just had a manicure.
dealing one bashing.
Oh, well, that's how it's going to be, huh? And he just he's going to get a grip on his clothes and just start uppercutting him right in the gut.
All right, so that'll be a grapple first.
Oh, okay.
The
And
mask, Abernathy, the mask. While he's just...
What are you, a cop?
Let him get the gut punch out, and then we'll go back to being logical.
I haven't gotten to do much so far. I want to have some fun.
Wah, I was possessed.
I haven't got to punch my friends yet.
Okay, so for grapple, that would be brawl and strength.
That's correct.
You guys didn't sign up for Museum Fight Club?
That's 1 success.
Good enough, so you get your hand on him, and that gives you 2 hits for free with no defense.
So 2 bashing?
that's 2 bashing.
So that's 2 bashing, yeah. In fact, you punch him hard enough that he actually almost leaves your grip from the recoil.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you beat the crap out of him.
Love you, Steven.
Love you too, Garrett.
Love you.
And it's at this point that in this dim room, a square of light opens up and stretches along the floor as 2 thin-heeled shoes click on the floor. And Vivian steps out into the hall. Turning around, all of you, and Abernathy, you still have him in your grip, by the way.
Yeah, he's not paying attention.
They all turn around and see Vivian with her pearl white mask over her face.
I am coming.
You guys handle this. I'm occupied.
I am coming. I am inevitable. I am the king in yellow. You will let me free. You will let me go. Can everyone roll initiative, please? We're now going to enter
boy.
proper combat.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
Good initiative
Okay,
roll.
everyone thinks they won initiative, I guess.
I didn't.
I got
definitely
the
did.
best. I didn't. I just got
All right,
the
give
best.
me your hands. Let me see. What'd you get?
13.
11.
I don't have enough fingers.
Oh, well, okay then.
10, 15, 16.
16, 15, 13,
11.
11,
5.
How do you always do that?
There we
Initiative
go.
modifier is not very good.
That's more like it.
It's a
So-
2? Your initiative mod's 3?
Shut up.
So if I'm not mistaken, it goes Abe, and then JD, and then Mason, and then Wolf and Darla. Yeah?
And then other people.
Right, and then other people.
Ghost
Oh,
Man
right,
needs
the
a
people
hug.
were fighting.
Okay, so Viv is gonna go between Wolf and Darla, and Wolf's already on there. All right, so Abernathy, you have the first action.
Not paying attention to Vivian coming in. Abernathy, I think, is going to try and do like I don't know, some high school wrestling move and try and get over on top of Wolf and start ripping the mask from his face with one hand.
All right, sounds cool. Just roll me a strength brawl.
Strength
I'm going to say that since you already have him in a grapple, it's pretty easy to get him in the position you want him.
One success.
All right, so you have succeeded 1 out of 3 times in removing his mask.
Okay, cool.
Hey.
Nice.
JD.
I think to start with, he needs to kind of get over the bit he just had, and so I'd like to do a resolve composure.
Yeah, I
on
think
that,
that's
just to-
totally fair.
Because he's still like
Yeah,
barely
let's see how he's handling
composed
this.
at all.
That's a very, very insightful choice. Thank you.
1, 2, 3.
3. Well, he is still a genetic freak, so.
We're not being mean. That's just what we call it.
That's like a pet name.
sorry.
This
Super
guy,
kind
this
nickname
guy
they've
outran a
given him.
true fae once.
He did.
Yeah.
He straight up outran a true fae. So yes, you recover pretty quickly. You're pretty used to taking a punch.
Yeah, and well, he's gonna kind of like seeing Vivian come in. He's gonna like steel himself, and he the last thing he remembers is her showing him that thing,
Right.
and so that's her fault. And so he's going to sprint directly in her direction, pull the Slugger of Babel, and attempt to knock the mask right off her face.
That's an interesting interaction. Okay.
Bottle cap
I'm
challenge.
going to hit
Hard
this woman in
enough.
the face with a baseball bat.
Let's do,
That's an interesting interaction.
Yep.
The
Buckle, what does the Slugger of Babel do?
Slugger of Babel is a homebrew relic. It is a baseball bat crafted from a beam of the Tower of Babel. The holder is able to comprehend all languages at the low, low cost of their sanity. And they can also use it as a bashing weapon if they want to, but they only get 3 charges. When they hit a dread creature, that's anything that is not human, that creature will take aggravated damage. So, swing. That would be a strength or a dex, whichever's better, and weaponry.
That's a few.
That's a good few for our man JD. He is a stuntman after all,
This
or
is where
was.
we give you all the good weapons.
Yep.
No, we don't.
Just 2.
Just 2. Your new dice are betraying you, my
Yeah,
dude.
they are.
Gotta get some
You
more
need to go to
energy in
jail.
there.
You have to buy
Well,
more
that's still 2 aggravated to Vivian, so that's not bad. She does reel. The empowered hit from the Slugger of Babel causes what would normally be a significantly strong hit to be one of those like action movie, like throws you back into the wall and they slide down kind of hits.
And did it do anything to the mask itself?
The mask now has a hairline crack going through the eye and across the nose and ending on the cheek. And through it, you can see just pitch blackness, not her face, but like a void. And the chanting intensifies. She hits the wall, lands, and actually attempts to tumble and fails. So she attempts to tumble and land on her feet, but instead lands sort of in a pile prone, and she'll have to use an action to get
Shouldn't have
up.
worn those heels.
Mason.
How under wraps does Wolf seem to be? Is he pretty well restrained by Abernathy?
Yeah, Abernathy it has him pinned to the floor, if I understand correctly, and
Yeah.
is pulling the mask up like this.
Right, I still, I'm over him, but I still have one hand on him.
So yeah, he's pretty well taken care of at this point.
Okay, I'm going to run up, put my hands on free spots on the mask, close my eyes, and pull upward.
All right, strength brawl.
I am still sore.
Yes, you're still sore and you have a headache.
I'm taking a dice
So
out
that's
of the
1
equation.
dice less. for that.
Oh.
3 successes.
All right, for 3, I will get you 2 ticks. So Abernathy did 1.
Yep.
That with one mighty heave, you pull so hard that you manage to get it all the way off in one pull.
Okay.
And just with JD, he screams in a really disturbing, in fact, make an integrity check, because this is the second time you've done this tonight.
Oh, me?
Yeah. You very much feel like you are causing him intense pain. Even though you know it's for his own good and it needs to be done, it does not feel good to do that to a person.
I've got a question. Does the mask, is it like spirit gummed on, or is it more like just kind of like spiritual magnet or something?
I'd say it's more like spirit gum because it doesn't get weaker once it's up a little. Like a magnet, once the distance is kind of pried open, it kind of loses power a little bit. It tends to like go up and then off. This is a pull all the way up. It's full effort the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah.
1 success.
1 success. You
You're
guys had
lucky.
integrity tonight, but you did actually succeed. You managed to keep a hold on it, even though this is something you'll have nightmares about for a long time.
Fun.
Yeah. Yeah, so Wolf just gasps. And he's like, thanks.
Thanks for the assist, Mason. I am so sorry that I punched you twice in the stomach there.
I don't
Dr. Wolf.
think you are.
I'm trying to make you feel better.
Take the mask, put it like inside down, and just slide it way away from everybody.
Wise. So you
And then I'll
slide
blast.
it, and that would make it Wolf's turn.
You gonna get off?
At your leisure, Doctor.
Great. I rush over to, what was her name? Vivian?
Vivian.
Great. And I'm gonna choke slam.
Jeez. What's your roll for that? Didn't we make that a tech for you?
We called it wrestling,
Wrestling.
but I never actually got any mechanical bonus for it. So
Yeah, so
it's-
roll your wrestling.
I'm going to just burn a willpower for the 3 extra
Okay.
dice.
All right.
Bucko, what's the difference between wrestling and wrestling?
Well, wrestling is southern.
One,
Got to be kidding.
one's got an apostrophe.
1 success.
Aw.
1 out of 8 dice.
Yes, the Yellow King is with me.
Shenanigans. Baloney.
So you attempt to wrestle, but it ends up more like a bucking bronco. There's no clear winner here. It's just a lot of movement. And you both take 1 bashing.
Darn it.
So, how available is Vivian for punching?
Well, she is knocked prone. I'm so glad you asked. However, it's her turn, so you don't get to capitalize. Darla with your 5 initiative.
Listen.
So, Vivian uses half her action to stand up, and on the other action, she will wall run, defying gravity.
This is some like Naruto
Cool.
shit.
Yeah, she runs with her arms behind her and
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
The bullets can't hit you if you do that.
Like they do in all horror movies.
Runs over the carved edifice. Edifice is a appropriate word. Edifices of the hallway, all the way to where the mask was slid across the floor, landing neatly in a sort of 3-limbed hero pose and clutching the mask in the other one. And at that, she turns the mask around and starts slowly walking for you in a big dick power move. So,
I close my eyes.
all of you resolve composure. You need at least 2 to look away in time.
I want to spend some willpower.
Oh, thank God.
This would be the time.
Do I?
And you lose.
Unfocus?
Mason loses 1 for his mental condition.
I only
wait,
got 1.
would I lose anything for ye old self-doubt?
You lose 1 for self-doubt. Yes.
Okay, so I have to re-roll real quick.
Okay. So you're safe. You're safe. You're not.
Nope.
Uh-oh.
Where
Is
are
that
the
a crit fail?
Not a
No.
crit fail, just a fail.
Okay.
Just a fail.
I only got 1 success.
Okay. So we have 3 fails.
God.
So whipping the mask around, she reveals the unholy words to you, and Darla and JD, in a strange reversal of a few minutes ago, you watch as your friends
Womp womp.
start to develop horrifying, featureless masks
Oh,
coming
God.
out from their very existence and taking control of them. They all turn to you and they say, I am inevitable. I am coming.
I'm
The king
inevitable,
in yellow
I'm
will rise
coming.
again.
The Yellow King will rise once again. Oh, it sounds worse in Southern.
It really does.
In Southern.
And in a
So a
shocking
language of its
turnabout,
own.
it's now a 3 versus 2. Darla, it's your turn.
I think she's gonna look over at JD and be like, "Run, run."
JD looks pissed, and he's looking directly at Vivian. He's not even looking at you.
All right. And I think Darla sort of reaches into the pockets of her white leather jacket.
With the fringe.
With the fringe, and pulls on a pair of brass knuckles.
And what do the brass knuckles say?
Say, don't shit.
Where you eat.
Where you eat.
Don't
Always
shit where
forget the
you
second
eat.
part.
I know, I like it. I like him just saying don't shit.
Yeah, together they say don't shit where you eat, but the right hand knuckle just says don't shit. And when you punch critically, it leaves the words indented.
So she pulls them on, and then if I can, I would like to punch her.
What are we doing?
All right, give me a strength roll, please.
Mess her up.
If you just break all the masks, that's
Just-
way faster.
Just remind her what not to do.
I would like to add willpower to that because this is pretty important.
I would say it's pretty important, yeah.
Maybe just a little bit. Oh, no.
I mean, if I get control of all of you, it's basically a total party kill, like I promised 55 episodes ago.
Well, that would be 2 successes.
Damn. All right. So you land a punch, and you actually, by pure good fortune, you land it on the mask in her hand that's already cracked. Not looking at it, you still manage to blindly track where her hand would be and smash it, and that does the remaining damage and destroys that mask. So now there's only the masks being worn by the other people floating around. She can no longer just get you for free with the mask in her hand.
Okay.
But that does unfortunately make it Abe's turn.
Abernathy, seeing Darla come up and start punching someone who he now sees on his
An
side,
ally, yeah.
an ally, is gonna like try and like do a full Nelson and drag her away.
Okay, so that's a grapple. That's a strength brawl.
Ooh, that almost ended poorly for me. Just a one success.
All right, and Darla, you get to contest with wits dexterity, or dexterity athletics, whatever's better.
I take it that's a neither.
I'm gonna go with Dex.
This would be beautiful.
2, a 3.
3, you make it out. However, it's at this moment that Darla, having very narrowly escaped it, you make eye contact with JD, and you realize this is a losing fight. Whether he wants to run or not, this is 3v2, and, well, Abernathy, you know, has a gun.
Oh, right.
I think she'll look at JD and be like, "Can we run now, please?"
Look at
All
you
right.
being brave.
Well, it's JD's turn.
Is it bravery or recklessness?
Call him Aunt Comby.
He's gonna turn the bat over in his hand, and he's gonna run up and he's gonna swing at Vivian right in the face again, even aiming for the crack if possible.
So her mask, yeah, it is also cracked. So yeah, go for it. Strength or dex and weaponry.
And I'm going to risk a willpower.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the 3 extra dice and go for an exceptional success on 3.
Yep, sounds good.
Oh yeah.
Those are the broken ones.
Oh man.
So it's more than. Here, can I borrow 2 dice?
I guess.
You borrow 2 dice. Can you listen to this guy?
It's a pool.
He's
of
being
dice.
nice. Oh, come on.
3, 4, 5. Thanks.
You're making me look bad.
You should look bad.
We all look bad.
Michael has that effect on people.
It is a 6.
6.
I'll take those back, thank you.
Is she dead?
So with
I don't think
with
she's on this material plane anymore.
with the second of 3 swings that you're allowed before this ancient relic crumbles, you absolutely smack her dead on, and the crack travels straight down in a very rapid fashion, and the 2 halves immediately split out. And behind it, you see her eyes wide, her mouth open, her chest heaving with fear and panic, and she says, "Run."
See, that's what I said.
Well, you know, I actually thought that she was like the source or something.
Am I still under the control?
You're
of
still under control.
Okay.
So with that, she shoves past you, grabs Darla's hand, and pulls you all towards the stairs down into the temple. The sarcophagus. We have to get to the sarcophagus.
Why? Won't that let her out?
Yeah, but that's just it. She's trapped there. That's where she returns. If we kill her there, she can't return. She'll be free, and none of this will leave this museum.
Well, you don't have to tell me twice.
So she leads you all into the sarcophagus room, and she looks at JD and looks at the glass case. Have at it. We can replace it.
I assume the two of us are in chase.
Yes, you are in chase.
Yeah, 3 of us.
3 of us. Okay.
Is there
Yeah,
a door
I
to
imagine
this?
wolves actually crawling on the ceiling, spider-like.
Yeah, you all can be as cinematic as you want.
Ooh, okay. Abernathy does like that, like exorcist backbend thing. It's just crawling after him.
First, are there any doors to?
No, it is a gallery-style thing. There are no
Is-
doors, just
is-
big openings.
Is there anything while we're running I can like tip over?
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of priceless relics you can destroy forever.
And is there?
Yes.
Is there any also like artifacts? Like, is there anything like an Egyptian?
Like those hooked
guard?
swords?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, you can totally have one
Yeah,
of those.
he's gonna
We're in
try to
Egypt,
take
baby.
Oh, like
You
a
can have whatever
Kopesh?
you want.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just-
Kopesh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get a beautifully preserved Kopesh to, I don't know, destroy your enemies
And
curvedly.
she told him to break a thing, right?
Yeah,
He can break that thing.
he can break that thing. He's very good at the breaking things
He's
thing.
gotta break the thing.
He breaketh the things.
Break of the things.
Break it a thing.
4.
4.
Oh.
Ooh.
Continuing your Hulk smash evening, you take the Kopesh and with your stunt training, actually, you seem to identify the perfect angle to really just smash it in the most glorious fashion. It shatters into many pieces, all tinkling to the floor in that beautifully destructive sound we all know, so deep in our hearts, the breaking glass tink. And in this almost glitter-like array, it reveals the sarcophagus, as of yet undisturbed. And you have a blade in your hand.
Yeah, he's gonna just jam it in to try to pry it open.
All right, I think roll strength, just a straight strength. It's not whether or not you can do it, because JD certainly can. It's just about how long it takes you.
Okay.
Oh,
Holy sh!
double explosion.
Oh, come
2.
on. Oh, what?
That was
Those
it.
are only 2.
All right, so with 2 successes, that knocks some time. You manage to get it pried open before the 3 of them make it into the room. So we'll play out this moment for you right before you can hear all of their feet hammering on the walls and on the floors coming towards you, almost like a stampede of 3. Just as you are able to throw the lid off of this sarcophagus. Inside is a stone inner sarcophagus. And inside of that, when you lift it, it's not sealed. This one, it's simply laid on top. And when you lift it up with all your strength, inside lays a beautifully preserved, linen-wrapped mummy, dry with age, with the wrappings withered away around the mouth as it's yawning open with little bone-dry, cracked teeth in an eternal yell. It does not move initially when you open it. And with the Slugger of Babel in your other hand, looking upon the text, you are able to very quickly read the inscription on the inside. And it says, Haresis in a cartouche, which even JD knows from the talks earlier means it's a name. With that, the other 3 arrive in the chamber. I'm going to keep the initiative from the first round just for the sake of simplicity, which makes it Abernathy's turn, crawling on his back.
He straightens back up, and he drawing his gun, he He just like looks over at I'm gonna say at JD because he's like right over the sarcophagus. Just points the gun and saying, "He is inevitable," and just unleashes a few shots at him.
All right, so yeah, roll yours, and since this is player v player, JD,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a chance to dodge
Okay.
with Dex Wits.
Bet you're wishing
or
you bought
Dex
that Kevlar
Athletics,
now.
Dex Acrobatics, anything like that.
Dex Athletics.
Yeah,
So
whatever's
I'll
the
take
best,
it.
you can use that.
Okay.
It does help that you knew they were coming. Like, I think you knew you were potentially going to have to dodge some gunfire. Abernathy never was one to aim first before shooting.
Well, you say that, but look at all the dice that I get to roll.
Whew.
You forget how good I am at guns.
Go ahead, my boy.
I don't think I've ever seen you shoot a gun.
You've all managed to talk him down somehow.
Da.
We have the world's
And
first pacifist
da.
party. They never engage in battle unless I make them.
We do too.
That is 5 successes.
Oh,
5,
Is
6.
JD dead now?
That's 5 to dodge.
Whoa! Is this the Matrix?
Okay, now we're gonna take the weird approach to this.
Ooh, I like weird.
So you
I
both
like it.
you both succeed. Abe, following his target, manages to send the shot true, and it does hit JD. But JD manages to pull the cover of the sarcophagus in front of him. Thinking you have successfully covered, it actually penetrates that old material and goes into your shoulder. So take 2 lethal. Actually, 1 lethal. We'll knock off 1 lethal from going through the shield. It's less deep than it would have been. And that brings us to JD's turn.
Okay, so he's just gonna shove the lid aside, and he's gonna take the slugger, knowing there's only 1 left, but knowing that he has 3 friends that are all currently mind controlled, and he's just gonna be like, smile. Just gonna lift it right above his head and come right down on the mummy's noggin.
Okay. Yeah, roll your strength weaponry.
And I did need I risked a willpower earlier and didn't get a
Right,
condition.
so you have a major condition. I'm going to say you, in your attempt earlier, you twisted your ankle, and so you've been kind of limping. So if you wanted to run at this point, it would be hard for you to do so. That'll
Okay.
be your serious condition. Thank you for being honest with me about that. I completely forgot.
But in that sense, I will go ahead and risk another.
Okay, that is
not?
what hunting life is all about.
It's a one shot.
Senseless
And-
risk.
Hashtag that life.
I will take the 3 dice and the 9 again.
Okay.
2 dice, please.
She's asking
Magic
the thing
words.
he's fighting. for
He
2
said
dice.
please.
I said please.
What's the magic word? Whatever.
What's the magic word? Fuck you, asshole.
have
Here you go.
Do I have to say it in a southern accent?
Well, you just did.
Grab a couple of these.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
It's always my dice.
4.
Ooh.
Wrong die.
I want that. Thank you.
You swing your bat harshly downwards in the final strike that this bat can sustain against a dread creature. And you hit, but you needed 5 to get through. At the last second, as it is about to destroy this fragile, forever preserved corpse, a white mask appears, sliding down over the mummy's face and deflects your blow. They will take damage to the mask, though, for that. They will take 2 damage to the mask for that.
And what happens to the bat?
And the bat shatters in a rain of splinters, like spaghetti falling from a carton.
Oh, you know.
What's my condition?
I mean, I can image.
And your condition now is disheartened. I think if you have to make any further willpower rolls,
Yeah.
you can only choose 1 benefit from risking willpower. Because your spirit's a bit broken after what was supposed to be a real hero play there.
Oh.
That makes it Mason's turn. And you are mind controlled,
This
yeah?
is a very dire situation, and I need to stop that thing from destroying our ticket out of here.
But
Yeah, you need to stop that thing from destroying your king.
Yeah. I need to tackle it.
You do need to tackle it. So why don't you roll a dexterity and brawl?
All right.
Since you're leaping, I don't think strength really applies.
Just going for it like a football guard guy.
Football guard guy.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what they're
That's
called,
the
right?
term. That's the term.
I'm asking you because you're the
I
only one who
see
knows.
you are also a man of the sports ball.
Yeah, I know how to score the
A
goals.
man of the sports ball.
That would be 3 successes.
3 successes. So JD, you get blindsided by a big hunk of man just coming and knocking you down, like a battering ram of a person.
That's a very generous way to describe a 5'9" individual.
Big hunk of man. We're a typical Saturday for Steven.
We don't need to get into
How
that.
you doing?
So yeah, you are now tackled and grappled. You'll have to deal with that next turn. That makes it Wolf's turn.
Great. Wolf is climbing on the ceiling like a possessed spider monkey from hell, and he's going to land on Darla if he can.
All right.
Oh,
I hope
I'm going to say that's free. I'm going to count that as movement.
Cool. He's going to try to grapple her.
All right, strength brawl.
Okay, what's your defense?
does he need to?
1.
Cool, thanks.
Total party kill. Total party
One
kill.
success.
Well, defender wins.
Yeah, it does. So Darla, at the last minute, you sidestep and Spider Monkey Demon Wolf just hits the floor face first.
Damage the mask.
Hey, does that damage the mask?
It does damage the mask.
I'm just
How much?
picturing him just.
And how much damage do I take? Because I'm about to pass out.
It does 1 damage, and you take 1 bashing.
Great.
I'm just
I have
imagining him
1
just-
health box left.
He's like spread eagle Wile E. Coyote on the floor.
That makes it Vivian's turn. Vivian slides into the backside of the sarcophagus, and leaning over the mummy, looking at the mask, she begins to try and pull the mask from the mummy's face.
Okay.
How did it break or is it cracked?
It's cracked.
It's
Alright.
cracked.
She might be able to pull it apart.
She fails.
Oh.
Doesn't do anything.
Are we going to get the bad end of this module?
Maybe.
Yeah.
There's time yet, because it's Darla's turn. And she's not grappled or anything.
I'm not.
And she's a bona fide witch.
And she's a bona fide witch.
Bonafide witch.
I think she's gonna say she's gonna look at Wolf. She's scrambled to the right and be like, "Hey, I'm just gonna say you did that to yourself," and then maybe crawl into the sarcophagus and give Vivian a hand.
Okay, sure. So when you put your hands on it, I'd like you to roll me a resolve composure.
Okay.
Are you straddling a mummy?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. You know.
You know, it's not
She
the
is
driest
kinda
thing
Anna
that's
Nicole Smith.
been between.
Oh, jeez. I don't think this is the
What
daddy
is that?
you want.
I critically failed.
You know, that's great, because what you were trying to do was instinctively resist being pulled into a conscious connection with the mummy. So by failing, you have established a psychic connection with this being. And similar to earlier when you met with Mason, you sink into a almost trance-like state. And looking around, you see a beautiful oasis. You see pristine white columns in an arc around a beautiful pond with lily pads, and a arrangement of flutes and stringed instruments all being played by slaves and servants. And bathing in the pool is a queen, a beautiful dark-skinned queen. And she says, "Oh, I didn't see you there."
I think Darla's gonna look around and be like, "Well, I'm jealous."
In character.
She looks around, acknowledging her surroundings, and says, "Yes, I suppose it is a gift and a curse."
Beauty generally is. I would know.
I am sorry I have to use you in this way, but I must get what I want.
Which is out. You want to be free, right?
Yes, I want to be free so I can make them pay. All those who hid me, who didn't allow me to be myself, who gave me the wrong name, who put me in a place of disrespect, branded me a heretic. I will make them regret.
You do realize all those people are dead, right? Like super dead? Like been dead for a very long time dead?
Death is only the beginning. It is when one arises that you truly see. She has a maniacal sort of focus in her eyes that almost seems to go right through you. She walks through the water and her gossamer gown flows behind her, brushing up against flowers and lilies. Death is only the beginning. You'll see. You're like me. One day you will rise, and then you'll see.
Well, you know, I'm pretty happy the way I am right now, to be honest. But you probably don't know what museums are, but you are being seen by people. They don't really know who you are, but I think if you tell me your life story, maybe we can get them to write it down, a nice plaque right in front, and people come by and see you, and we can tell your story.
That would be nice. Art is meant to be seen.
I agree.
She rises up on steps, slowly leaving the pond, and places a hand on the cheek of a statue-like servant, who you recognize now as the focus of the scene shifts. Everything outside of her general area seems blurry and out of focus, and it's only when she gets closer that everything seems to come into clarity. And you see the line of your friends. You see Mason and Wolf and Abernathy in robes, standing at attention, ready to serve. She puts her hand on Abernathy's cheek, and she says, "They'll all see why art should not be suppressed."
Hey, listen. What are you after? I mean, like, are you planning on, like, taking over the world? Is this your big bad speech? Is that what's happening here? Because, I mean, like, come on. Let's be real with you. Are you trying to, is that what it is? It's just world domination?
Darla trope-savvy Kane.
I love it.
She turns and she says, "You know, I never thought about after."
Yeah, you gotta think about your end games. You know, I gotta have a plan in mind. Like,
Thousands of years I've tried. I've taken what I could get, the servants I could convert, and they have been loyal. Yet always I return here. For what purpose? Why?
I
What
don't know.
will I do when I succeed? I think I would take you. She steps back towards you with her hand outstretched, and on her palm is the word Hastur. Your eyes read it, and in that time you are transported back to the real world. And you see your friends in a cacophony, in a mass, all brawling and fighting amongst each other, torn apart by Hastur's vile influence. And it's your turn.
No pressure.
Shit.
Not at all.
I think Darla's gonna be like, well, the only person that's taken me anywhere is Mace, and then she's gonna punch the mummy in the face.
All right, roll your strength brawl.
I am going to add willpower. Okay.
You gonna risk?
Yes, I am. Okay, so strength brawl. Okay, so that's strength.
What's your options for risking?
Yes. What are my options of risking again? I don't do it very often.
That's true, you don't normally need to. So you can get 9 agains, you can get exceptional on 3 successes, you can
Add 3.
add 3 dice.
And I get to choose 2 of those, right?
Yeah, you can choose 2.
I'm gonna get exceptional on 3, and I'm gonna add 3 dice.
Okay.
Ooh.
Please.
Do it up, do it up.
Okay.
I can't see it.
Oh no. Oh, I only got one.
Oh.
You do hit, and you do deal 1 damage. It has 1 tiny bit left as the cracks stretch out like an egg on a pan, leaving only a bit left undamaged. And at that point, it is, whose turn is it? Abe's turn. You just shot JD. That was your last action.
I did shoot JD.
So you still have the gun in your hand.
Gonna seeing it. I might as well continue shooting and walking forward. I think that Abernathy's gonna do that until the clip's empty.
I feel that makes sense to me.
We've
Yeah.
successfully restrained the JD.
Okay.
Is he gonna shoot me?
3 successes.
3 successes.
Out of all that, I'd consider that lucky.
Yeah. So JD, try and make another dodge for me.
Does that?
I'm grappled.
Yeah.
Oh, you're grappled. Ooh, so you just have to take that. So you take 2 lethal.
3 lethal?
Oh, it is. It's 3 lethal
Yeah.
because he rolled 3. Whew,
Do I eat
JD,
any
not
of
having a
that?
good day. So
It's a bullet. Do I take any of that?
you're his ally. I think he, at close range, can find an angle where it doesn't hit you.
Alright.
Makes sense.
And that makes it JD's turn.
Okay, so it's a pretty desperate situation.
It is.
Mildly.
Just a little bit.
JD's gonna try to resort to something that hasn't worked very often.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to, how close is Abernathy as well?
I'd say
Abernathy is,
walking forward. I'd say he's about 10 meters away, 15 to 10.
yeah, I'd say
Okay.
he's about 10 feet. He's rather close.
He's going to just put his hands out, and he's gonna close his eyes, and he's just gonna think with all of his might and try to remove the masks.
Yes.
Okay.
Desperate. Back literally against the wall.
He has
JD
teleportation skills, just so
reaches-
people know.
I'm explaining. JD reaches out to that talent of his that is so out of reach, always present and yet inaccessible. A thing that happens only randomly at odd times when he has no other recourse. He reaches out and tries to apportate and move things in space with his mind.
And he's going to add a willpower to the roll. So that's going to take a lot of his willpower up in just one section.
I know this is a one shot, but I'm so anxious right now.
seriously.
Seriously.
That's probably good.
Whoa.
That's 4.
4 successes for 4 masks. You rip the masks simultaneously from the mummy and all of your friends who are currently mind controlled. Relieved, they all gasp and scream and fall to their knees, shaken. And at that point in time, Scott, the scientist, ducks out from behind one of the cases with a broken off chair leg. Holding it upside down like a very blunt dagger, he plunges it into the face of the mummy, now revealed with the mask gone. And he says, "And that's for wasting my research."
Our hero, he comes.
And with that, you all heave a sigh of relief as you feel the threat lessen. Thank you all for joining us for this awesome one-shot campaign.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
If you enjoyed our show tonight, then you can find us on Apple Podcasts or on the Google Play Store as Uncanny Valley, put on by the Saving Throw Show. Please watch all of our network's live streams at twitch.tv/savingthrowshow. We do all kinds of games. What are we running right now? I'm not sure.
Well, right now we're in a bit of a transitional period, but we have shows like New Pantheon, a Scion 2nd Edition campaign that I run. Wildcards, a East Texas University Savage Worlds game that is ongoing and really great. They just had a spring break episode here, actually. That was really fun. Tempting Fate, where you get to see a bunch of wild and crazy adventures. They just did a Toy Story episode. It was very silly.
And once again, let's go down the line and say our names. And if you have socials that you would like people to follow, you can plug yourself there.
Of course. Hi, my name is Stephen Pope. You can find me online at StephenJPope22, literally everywhere. And yeah, thank you all for having me.
My name is John Tompkins. I have a Twitter. I don't recall its handle, so that sucks for me.
Yeah, you don't use it much.
I don't use it much.
My name is Deanna. You can find me on Twitter at CosplayDIYChan, as in do it yourself. And you can also find me on Instagram at Eventide, EVYNTIDE.
My name is Buckle. You can find me on all the social medias under the same tag, OBuckle, O-H Buckle. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and now I'm starting a Twitch channel. So
Really?
yes,
Awesome.
and you are too.
I
so
am.
if you enjoyed tonight, then definitely check me out there for some gaming shows and talks about writing, storytelling, all that stuff.
All right. My name is Garrett. You can find me on Instagram at Thrash, as in thrash metal, .hobbit, as in the Hobbit.
I'm Michael Morris, and you can find me on Twitter at rarbagels33. That's R-A-W-R, bagels.
Bless you, sir.
But I would really encourage you to go to the Saving Throw
Yeah.
and/or Uncanny Valley
Yeah.
Twitters and find me there as well.
Yes, you can find us on Twitter at Uncanny
I have a
Podcast.
Discord.
I think it's at Uncanny
It's
Show.
Uncanny Show.
At
Uncanny
Uncanny
Show.
Show.
Shows
So
you
thank
what
you
I
all
know.
so much for
Yes,
watching
thank you.
Gen Con
Thank you very
TV,
much.
Thank you so much.
and have a great night.
Have a
Good
good one.
night.
Have a good night.
Bye.